They called him Monster long before the world ever called him Sanyika Shakur. Born Kody DeJohn Scott in 1963, South Central Los Angeles wasn't just where he grew up. It was the battlefield that shaped him. Abuse at home, violence in the streets, poverty everywhere. By the time most kids were learning multiplication, Kody was learning survival. And in 1975, at just 12 years old, he joined the 8 Trey Gangster Crips. That's where the name Monster came from. Not a nickname given lightly, but earned. After a brutal street assault during a robbery, his reputation spread fast across LA. This was the late 70s and early 80s when gang culture in Los Angeles wasn't just rising, it was exploding. And Monster was right in the middle of it. Shootouts, retaliations, turf wars. He lived through things most people only see in documentaries. Shot multiple times, arrested repeatedly, surrounded by death. But the streets always lead somewhere, either to the grave or to prison. For Monster, it was prison. Inside California's prison system, places like San Quentin and Pelican Bay, something shifted. Locked in a cell with nothing but time, he started reading, studying, thinking. He converted to Islam and later became politically conscious, aligning himself with black nationalist movements and adopting a new name, Sanyika Shakur. But here's where his story flips. Instead of fading into prison obscurity, he picked up a pen. While locked up, he wrote a book that would shake America. Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member. It wasn't polished. It wasn't softened. It was raw street reality, the mindset, the violence, the codes, the trauma. For many outside the streets, it was the first real look inside the mind of a young gang member during the height of LA's gang wars. The book became required reading in colleges and prisons alike. Some saw him as a cautionary tale. Others saw him as a revolutionary voice exposing systemic neglect and inner-city warfare. But redemption stories in real life rarely stay clean. After his release, Shakur struggled to fully escape the past. More arrests, more prison time, parole violations, carjacking charges in the 2000s. The same system and streets he wrote about kept pulling him back. Still, he continued writing, speaking, trying to reshape his narrative from street legend to conscious author. Then in June 2021, the story ended quietly. Sanyika Shakur, once one of LA's most feared gang figures and later one of its most controversial authors, was found dead in a homeless encampment in Oceanside, California. Cause of death, stroke. Age 57. From feared Crip enforcer, to prison intellectual, to published author, to dying homeless in a tent. That's the part of street history people don't like to talk about, because not every legend gets a movie ending. Some stories just fade out, leaving behind a book, a reputation, and a question. How can we convince people to make a change before incarceration?